Hello, you beautiful Spark, and welcome back to another solo episode of Spark TV. I am your host, Danielle Lewis, the CEO and founder of Spark Business. And I've just been thinking about something lately, and I thought that this would be a good little one to share with you on the podcast. Now, this comes up basically every grant round for me, but it comes up a lot on the interview podcasts that we do as well. And that is, you would have heard the book title, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. But basically the concept that people hold themselves back, people take no action based on the way that they're feeling, based on the fact that they have invented a story in their brain hole that they're not good enough, they're not qualified enough, they're not at the right stage, they're, insert any excuse that, someone might make up to hold themselves back. And it just happens so often. It's really, really interesting. So I'll give you a stat. We have 500 members in Spark. So 500 beautiful women in business who are eligible to apply for the Spark Women in Business grants. And we usually get about 80 to 100 applications. So wild. And look, it's not going to be for everybody. I get that. But very wild the amount of people who are eligible and just don't take the time to throw their hat in the ring. Very interesting. In round 7, one of the girls who applied, she actually messaged me on Instagram first, and she was like, should I apply? And I'm like, yeah, why wouldn't you apply? And so she had been looking at it thinking, it's not for me, I'm not good enough, I'm not far enough along, whatever. And she ended up winning $10,000. The first time she applied, she won $10,000 because her business is fucking epic. I've actually known her for quite some time. I don't judge the grant, so I can say this, but I've known her for years when this was in its infancy of an idea. She has worked her butt off. She is now stocked in Woolworths. It's absolutely phenomenal, her product. It's called I Am Grounded. They're these beautiful coffee fruit bars. But just goes to show she had been telling herself that she was not enough, even though she has this spectacular product. And first time she throws a hat in the ring, judge sees that and awards her one of the grants. So always blows my mind at how people hold themselves back. I mean, it's really interesting when I reach out to people, part of my job is to promote the grant. So I want as many women owned businesses to know about it. So that's my job, is I'm always telling people about the grant. And so many people will reply with, oh, I live in South Australia. I'm like, who cares? Why did you invent that as a roadblock? like it's open to everyone in Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, next. Or they'll be like, oh, I'm not a tech platform. Or, oh, I'm not a not-for-profit, or I am a not-for-profit. People literally, I wonder if there's a little bit of they've been knocked back before, or they've looked at other things with strict criteria before, I'm not sure. But without looking into things, people will just opt themselves out. It is absolutely wild. And I have this conversation with people on the podcast a lot as well. So when I do sales training with people or talk to people about sales, what I find interesting is I can tell you what to do. I've been a salesperson for 20 years. I can tell you exactly what to do, but half the time people won't do it. They go, I need more sales. What do? I tell them what to do and they don't do it. Why? Because they're worried about rejection. They're worried about looking silly. They're worried about all of these things. It has nothing to do with not knowing what to do or things not being available to us. It is literally the stories we make up in our own head that hold us back. So with that in mind, I wanted to share with you this little insight that I got at some point during my life that has really helped me. And that is that you can feel like crap and still do the work. People have said this in different ways over the years. We all know the Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway book. The big one that goes around now, if you follow Layla Hormozi on Instagram or YouTube, She says, fuck your mood, follow the plan. And it is true, right? Like, you can feel like the biggest piece of crap and still send the email. Like, that person doesn't know that you feel like crap. That person doesn't know that you doubt yourself, that you don't think you're worthy, that you have all of this stuff going on in your personal life. All that person who received that email from you cares about is if you have the solution to their problem. So yeah, so really getting your head around the fact that you can feel not enough, you can feel unwell, you can feel unworthy, you can feel like you haven't got your family life together, you haven't got your personal life together, you haven't got, your business in order, whatever. You can feel all of those things and still be wildly successful. And I can also tell you, I've spoken to so many people who are already wildly successful, and they still feel like that. They still have all the feelings that we feel on day 1 or day 100 or day whatever in our business journeys. When they have achieved all of the milestones, they still feel like this. So if you're waiting to not feel these feelings, you're not going to get there. So you've got to wrap your head around doing it anyway. So a few little things that help me do it anyway. That awareness is huge. Just knowing that I can feel like this and still do the work. That's a really big one. Breaking it down is also really important. So if you're already feeling a little overwhelmed and emotional, doing something huge probably doesn't help either. So breaking things down into really bite-sized pieces. So maybe with the grant application, don't think about, oh my God, I'm going to sit down today and carve out half a day and I'm going to sign up, I'm going to make my video, I'm going to answer things. No, don't do that. Just download the application questions today. And that's it. Now you're one step further to applying for the grant. Or if it is, sending a proposal to somebody or reaching out to somebody really important that you're really excited to work with, maybe all you're doing is finding the person that you'll email. So go on to LinkedIn Sales Navigator, go to the company, the job role, and find the person who's the right person to talk to. Do something tiny to take a step forward, and then do another tiny thing, just take a step forward, and then another thing, and then another thing. And, by the end of it, you kind of go, well, this is kind of the last thing I have to do. Like, all the hard work is done. I've just got to hit go. I find that breaking it down really, really helps me get over it and just do it, especially if I'm in my own way and have all of that resistance. There's other great resources as well, like Mel Robbins. She has the 5-minute rule. So her thing is you count down from 5 and then just go. So it's like if you're having difficulty getting out of bed in the morning, going right on 1, I'm getting up. So it's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you just get up. And it's kind of like, I guess it interrupts your brain patterns and stops you thinking. A lot of the times, because all of the stuff that's holding us back is just made up. When we have time to think about it, we have time to invent and make the situation bigger, and our unworthiness even more than it should be. So, so the idea of the 5-second rule is interrupting your brain pattern to stop you actually thinking about what it is that's holding you back. So I love that one as well. Yeah, so there are a few little tips that I think are super helpful. I wrote some down before. Let me just check. Oh, and I want to share this other one with you that I do with public speaking. And I think you could actually apply this to anything. So I love public speaking when it's done. Before I go on stage, I want to fake my own death. It's that bad. So I use this, I don't even know where I heard this. This is not mine. I didn't come up with this idea. But I use this and, you name and talk to your fear. So I say, hey, look, I know there's nothing that I can do right now to make you feel better. I know there is nothing that I can do to make you go away. So I'd love to invite you to come with me. I am walking onto that stage anyway. I'm doing it. I have value to offer and I've always wanted to present at this thing or whatever it is. So I'm going and I'd love you to come with me. And it's just this really, again, weird pattern interrupty thing of kind of like going, because sometimes I feel like you think you need to solve fear and overwhelm and nervousness, when in actual fact you don't need to solve them at all. You need to learn how to take action and do the things with them. So I also find that really helpful, actually just talking to it. So that might even be something that you could employ if there's a task that you're not doing. If it's, let's just take the grant application as the thing. I know you don't feel worthy. I know you don't feel good enough, but I'm going to do this anyway. I'm going to throw my hat in the ring. I'm going to apply for this funding, because if we do happen to get it, if the stars align, we do happen to get it, then that could really be a game changer for our business. So I know there's nothing I can do right now to make you feel any better. I know you're not going to go away. So I'd like to invite you to come with me. I'm going to pour a glass of wine and I'm going to sit on the deck and I'm going to get started on this application. And I'm just going to do it till the glass of wine's empty. And I'd just like you to come with me. And because we're doing it, I'm doing it. I'm going to sit there. I'm going to have my glass of wine. I'm going to work through this. So why don't you come with me and we'll just see what happens. Yes, that's another little good tactic that works for me. May seem silly, but so is not doing things just because you invented a story in your head. Okay, that's it from me today. I hope that helped you. I think you're amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for showing up for yourself and your business. I think you are absolutely incredible. And I will see you in the next episode of Spark TV.